All right. Okay. I'm live. Are you all able to see me now? All right. We're good. Is this all looking okay? Just let us know if it is all working fine. Awesome. There was a glitch in the system. All right. Thank you for joining me today. I see Tabitha in there, Manju in there, Johnsy in there, Jay in there. Thank you all for joining. Let me know if you're able to hear me. Thank you for joining today on a Friday. I hope you all had a nice week. And you know, we are especially in God's calendar, we are entering into a very important season. Starting a Wednesday marks a very important beginning season of Passover. That's when Passover begins. You know, you all know this coming Sunday is a Palm Sunday. The following Sunday is Easter. Hey, by the way, if you live in Madison, if you're around this area, this coming Sunday, not this Sunday, this Sunday is Palm Sunday, but the following Sunday, we are going to Kalahari for Easter. So if you, to Wisconsin Dells. So if you want to join us there, it is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. You don't want to miss it. So I would encourage you to get it. You know, and we are offering tickets 60% down the market rate. And there is going to be Easter service there. It is going to be fun. So you don't want to miss it. If you're watching me here, if you live in Madison area, you know, come to Kalahari with us. It is going to be a lot of fun during this time. Okay. All right. So I will post a link on the chat window right here, just so you can get it if you want to. But now I'm going to get into the topic. And I am talking about today how to prepare for recession. Last week, I did a topic on recession. Is it really coming? Right? And today I'm going to talk about how to prepare for recession. But even before me going into the specifics of how to prepare for recession, there are specific topics I just want to cover off today and also give you guys a good basic understanding in a very brief manner of why I am saying how to prepare for recession. Why am I even talking about recession now? Well, you know, this week, if you really think about what happened in the stock market, the market really did a great job. You know, meaning I think this week it was like a 4.5% increase in the overall indices, generally speaking. So the market did a good job this week. But what I'm talking about is, are we entering a recession? I'm not saying we are in a recession right now. I'm just asking you to look forward. And how do you look forward? You know, you look at some leading indicators of what is happening in the market right now, right at this moment, that has been over time getting worse and worse, but maybe the symptoms are not seen outside yet, but it's soon going to hit. So I'm a pastor. Apart from being a pastor, I also have more than a decade of experience in the financial services industry, very strong educational and practical background in financial markets. My background is in financial engineering, and I follow what's happening in the market. So I'm just sharing some wisdom that I have along with divine insights the Lord has given to me. It is just not me talking here. I also do some research in the market to understand what's happening. Last time I talked about how the interest rate increase has some pretty significant ramifications to our economy. The first thing I want to talk about here is cost of money. How many of you who are watching me are aware of the terminology cost of money? Have you heard of the term cost of money? If yes or no, just put it on the chat there. So I'm going to deal a little bit with what is the cost of money. Because there is, you may be like, hey, what do you mean cost of money? I thought money is money. How can money cost you? There are several things, but right now I'm going to talk about what cost of money is. See, the cost of money is usually defined by the interest rate that is applied on a borrowed amount. Okay? The interest rate applied to a borrowed amount, meaning, if you think about, thank you, Jay. Looks like you're familiar with it a little bit. Now, what is this interest rate? For the last 15 years, since 2008 crisis, we have been in a place of low interest rate conditions. The cost of money was close to like 1% or max 2%. People are doing big major loans, commercial loans. It may not even be that much. The cost of money was really cheap for the last 15 years. Now, the cost of money has almost quadrupled in the last 12 months. You're talking about an increase from approximately 2% to 5% in the last 12 months. So the cost of money has gone up significantly, close to 3 times, right? In the last 12 months. So, like I said, the cost of money is computed based on the borrowing interest rate. Now, Fed, that sets the central banking Fed rates, they've increased the rate from wherever it was like 2.2% or 2% to like 5% now, right? And every other bank, if they have to lend, they are going to make a spread on top of the 5% before they loan you money. For example, if you go to a bank right now and try to get a loan, you will not get anything better than 5%, a minimum. In fact, you will not get even 5% because bank has to make some money out of you. So they will charge you 6%, even if you had great credit score. Because for the bank, money is expensive right now. They cannot loan people money at anything lower than 5%. Minimum, bare minimum is 5% plus whatever, 0.25% or whatever they charge, right? Because bank has to make a spread to keep themselves running. If not, banks cannot run. So the cost of money is usually computed by the interest rate that has been imputed on the borrowed sum of money, okay? So the cost of money has significantly gone up. Now, this is a problem in the economy for several reasons. Why? Number one, I told you this cost of money increase happened in a very short time. It happened within a 12 months time frame. You're talking about the cost of money shooting up, okay? Now, there are a lot of people who have borrowed money, and in fact, there were a lot of new organizations, new companies, new innovative arms that have borrowed a bunch of money. They are not even making any income yet. But since the money was so cheap, they have started building businesses and whatnot using this cheap money. Now watch, with the cost of money going up, whatever they borrowed, they may have been paying that off in some monthly monthly payments. Now their most of which is going to be variable. The monthly payments are going to become 3 times because all the cost of money has gone up, right? We are not seeing those effects completely yet. In some ways, last time I walked you through bank failures, right? Bank failures are happening in an increasing, massive way, and more is coming down the pike. Credit Suisse, Deutsche Bank, all these are pretty bad. And especially with Credit Suisse, in fact, said we are not going to pay our bondholders. And Saudi Arabia, I believe, had a pretty big stake on this. And they are not going to get paid. Now, all this is going to piss off the market big time. The people are not going to be happy. The investors are not going to be happy with what is happening in the market right now. All right. So the cost of money has gone up. Now, I'm going to talk to you first about what is cash. And number 2, you will hear something called a store of value. Okay. I don't know how many of you have heard what a store of value is. A lot of people think money is cash or money is currency. Money is not currency. Money is not cash. Today, you will understand what money is, because money is a store of value, but cash is not money. Okay? Cash is not money. This might be new to some people, but I'm going to walk you, be patient with me. I'm going to walk you through this here. What is cash? Is this making sense? If this is making sense, just type something on the comment. If you know what cash is, type something on the comment. All right, I'm going to share my screen here quick. Give me a quick moment. Ta-da-da-da. Okay, cash. Okay, show this to people. Oops, it's not showing up. Okay, so cash is the currency that is used in exchanging value. Okay, it is not intrinsic value. What I mean by that is, listen to me, currency is used for trading, okay? Your cash is only valid to transactions. The reason why cash, in fact, came into play was, in the olden times, they used to trade in kind. For example, somebody grows wheat and somebody grows cattle. The person who grows wheat will say, hey, I'll give you so much wheat. Can you give me so much cattle, right? Or so much meat or so much milk. So in the olden days, they used to trade by kind, okay? Kind is for a wheat, they'll ask for cattle, or for corn, they'll ask for milk. And, people found value in all these, right? Because these are the real things why you need cash for. You need cash to buy milk. You need cash to buy eggs. You need cash to buy corn, right? But in the olden times, people used to trade for kind. And then they said, well, but if I want to go to a different place, at times it is really difficult. Maybe some person does not even need my milk. They need something else. What would I do at that time, right? So they went to a form of gold and silver, okay? They would say, well, so much gold is worth so much wheat. So much gold is worth so much corn. So much gold is worth so much cattle, right? So they moved from trading in kind to they started trading gold and silver. So now, when you think about money itself, money is equivalent to assets that can hold the value. If you think about dollar, if you think about gold can hold the value. By default, the metal has intrinsic value. Your cash that you have, the dollar bill that you have, it does not have intrinsic value. It just says it is an IOU bill. Okay? 100 is the government of the United States saying, I owe you $100. That is a credit. The cash is nothing but you're holding the government's money, and the government has said, this is worth so much. But in itself, intrinsically speaking, cash does not have value. Okay? So in the olden days, they did kind trade. And then they started moving into gold, silver, land. All of these have intrinsic value. So what is money? Money is something that can retain value and has intrinsic value built up in it. It is called the store of value. If you purchase something, it should not decay too rapidly over time. Is that making sense? It continues to have store of value. So that is gold and that is silver. Okay? It could be real estate. It could be other things. But cash by itself cannot store value, because over time it is losing money. Is that making sense? Now, why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because during recession, what I am talking to you about becomes way, way, way more crucial than anything else. Okay, so I'm going to read from the book of Genesis. Last time, I read from the same book. Watch. I'm reading from Genesis chapter 47. This is what the Bible says. And there was no bread in the land. I'm reading from Genesis 47, verse 13. And there was no bread in all the land, for famine was very sore. So that the land of Egypt and all of the land of Canaan fainted by the reason of famine. Famine is a recession, major recession. Nothing is yielding, nothing is growing. It is a bad state. Now, see what Joseph first did. Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt. Now, again, money does not mean cash. Money here is silver or gold. That's it. But here, most probably, it is silver. So Joseph basically gathered up all the money. He gathered up all the silver. Why? People were trading food with silver, okay? Because silver had a store of value. Now, and in the land of Canaan, for the corn which they bought, okay? So Joseph was selling corn for silver. And Joseph bought the money into Pharaoh's house. And when the money failed, meaning when all the silver got over, when all the silver or gold got over, and in the land of all Egyptians came to Joseph and said, give us bread. Why should we die in your presence? And Joseph said, give me your cattle. What? He said, give me your cattle. What is cattle? I told you money is silver. Cattle is something, you've heard of cash cow, right? Cash cow is nothing but cash flow. You have an asset that helps produce money. Cattle was used not only to feed their tummy, but it was also producing something that could be exchanged for money, which gave them a cash flow. Okay? So the cattle here represents your business. It could represent the work that you're doing. This is about your stream of cash flow. Watch this. This is about your money flow. Cattle is representative of your money flow. Watch this. Now, they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread. So see what people started doing. When money starts failing, what is happening to businesses? Businesses are going bust. Meaning cash flowing businesses, cash flowing things are getting surrendered. Why? They can't survive. So I'm giving you wisdom from the scripture and also in the world. This is the wisdom, okay? World has not changed. The only thing that has changed in the world is this. On top of money, they have created something artificial. What is artificial? Cash in your hand is artificial right now, okay? Cash that you have in your hand is just a construct. It is not real money. It can be used for trading, but real money is silver. Real money is gold, okay? So understand that. According to scriptures, real money is gold or silver. But what you have, what most people have in their hand is cash. But cash is not money. Cash is not backed. First of all, US dollars is not backed by gold, okay? US dollars is not backed by silver. Only the United States backs the dollar. Now, in the climate when interest rates go up, hopefully, United States does not default in its debt because there is $31 trillion debt. Just imagine, let's say you have a $30,000 debt, okay? Maybe you are paying some, I don't know, $500 per month to service your loan. Now, United States have $31 trillion debt. And they have a monthly payment too. They have to service that loan. It is not a fixed rate for United States. It is a variable rate. When the cost of money goes up, United States has to pay more monthly to keep up that debt the way it is. And when United States fails to pay its borrowers, what happens is it is called a default, a sovereign debt. A sovereign company begins to default, it is a big issue. I'm not saying United States is going to do that right now, but all that I'm saying is if the situation gets out of hand, that could be a possibility, okay? So now what happens to your cash? Because your cash has its value as long as United States does not default in its debt. The moment the cash you hold is related to the United States government, the moment the government does not pay its due, it defaults, the dollar value gets impacted directly. Okay, so I want you to understand that. So cash is actually something artificial that is on top of your money. So, but in the Bible, we talk about money failing. Not just cash failing. Cash can easily fail than money. Okay? But here in the Bible, in Joseph's time, we see money itself failing. Money is silver, money is gold. Money itself failing. So when money failed, what was the next thing that failed? Verse 16. Genesis chapter 47, verse 16. The next thing that failed was Joseph said, give your cattle and I will give you for your cattle. Meaning, I'll give you corn. I'll give you something for you to eat for your cattle. And I told you cattle represents your cash flow. Cattle represents your business. Cattle represents your employment. Cattle represents that. So when money fails, others, this is a cascading effect. We are not seeing this yet, but all that I'm saying is this is how issues cascade, okay? Number one, it hits money. Number two, it hits your cash flow. Next, what happens? Watch this. When the year was ended, they came unto him the second year and said, we will not hide it from you, my Lord. Our money is spent and my cash flow is gone. I do not have anything else but my body and my land. So next one is real estate. This is what Pharaoh says. Watch this. Joseph says, watch this. Wherefore shall we die before thy eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread. And we and our land will be your servants unto Pharaoh, and give us the seed. So what Joseph began to do was he started buying all the land in Egypt. Okay? So money failed, businesses went bust, real estate started getting issued, right? Was surrendered. Now, why did I talk about these things? Now, watch this. Most of the people in the United States, they either hold cash or they have strong exposure to equities. Most of the people who have 401k plans or, investments, they would put their money in the market because United States have been trying hard to get people to put money in the market. It's not bad at all. It is good to do that. That is an important way of you beating inflation. That is an important investment activity you have to do to keep your money, working for you. But during these conditions, what happens is when interest rates go up, it impacts the bond market and the equity market. Now, what is a bond market? Every single company that runs, they have loans, right? Think about you as an individual, okay? An individual can have loans, and an individual, they usually don't have equities, individually speaking, but they usually have loans. So loans are related, can be compared, is analogous to bonds. So companies or institutions, big organizations, they have bonds, okay? So what happens when interest rates go up? The value of the bond goes down, okay? I'm not going to go into explaining why that is, but generally when interest rates go up, the value of the bond goes down. So that means there is already a bond market crisis that is already looming, okay? Number two, what happens is during this high interest rate condition, because of the flow of money is impacted, the market begins to go down. It has not gone down as significantly yet, but as the cost of money increases, people cannot spend the way they used to, okay? So soon they are going to stop spending, soon they're going to stop buying, and what happens is the equity market will begin to tank. So how do you prepare for famine, right? I just shared you wisdom from the book of Genesis. The way for you to protect yourself or your assets during a time of recession is think about money. What I mean by money is silver or gold. Because your silver or gold can store up value, but equities at this point in time are not going to store up value, okay? Silver or gold are a better store of value during the time of famine because people are going to go for real assets. The reason why the land is called a real estate, because it is not fake. It is real. It is tangible, okay? So during the time of famine, people go for real assets. They go for real money. They're not going for cash. They're going for real money, okay? But at the same time, another thing that could happen is right before entering recession, some people hold themselves big on cash. And the reason they hold themselves big on cash is because they are expecting carnage in the market. They are expecting market to crash big time. So they will say, you know what, I'm going to be out of the market for now, but when the market crashes, I am going to put my money in the right place. But if you do not, I'm not giving you an advice, okay? And what I'm saying right now is done by millionaires, billionaires, people who do this for a living, okay? I'm not saying you should do this. The usual advice is do not time the market. I'm giving you some unconventional education. But millions and billions of dollars are made. during the time of crisis, people. Okay? This is a time of wealth transfer. Okay? And the reason I'm bringing this to you is to tell you, hey, wealth transfer is on its way. Just don't stay in the wrong asset class. Get to the right asset class. Become a little bit more educated. Become a little bit more educated is what I'm saying. Is that making sense? You know, we all will, getting educated would help us all in many ways right now, especially in the market conditions. Okay? So, again, I'm tracing myself back here. Cash is not real money. Cash is fake money. Okay? Real money is silver and gold. And if you really think about what has been happening in the gold market, I'm just typing gold price. In the last 6 months, gold has gone up 20%. In the last 6 months, because people are already predicting market is going to go down. Okay? In the last 6 months, gold is up 20%. And let me give you the silver price. It is not as easy to get a silver price here. Why? You know, I would think, yeah, in the last 6 months, silver is up 26%. In the last 6 months, silver is up 26%, gold is up 20%. Okay? Whereas market, the stock market, let me look at, give me one moment here. I'm going to look at S&P 500. S&P 500 in the last S&P 500 in the last 6 months is up 11%, whereas gold is up 20% and silver is up 26%. Okay? What this just means is, people are saying, hey, in the near future, real assets are going to be more important than some of the other types of asset classes. Okay? So I talked about money, which is a store of value. Okay? Store of value first is silver and gold. But the problem with the store of value is the store of value can only appreciate or store the value. You're really not expecting, gold to become double. Okay? Gold is not an income producing commodity. Gold is a precious metal which is used to store value. That is money. Money is just used to store value. But the next group of asset is your cash flowing business. It is either your business, it is either your employment or other things, right? So listen to this wisdom. This is very important. Do not make rash decisions with your employment. Okay? Do not say, okay, I'm getting paid so much more in this different organization, especially if you know that your company is doing really good. Don't try to make some silly decisions by applying for a different job or this or that, because you never know how good the other organization is unless and until you completely read the market, you know what you're doing. Unless and until you know what you're doing, don't make rash decisions because somebody else is giving you $1,000 more or $2,000 more, even $10,000 more. I don't care. Because some of these organizations that is hiring may start laying people off. Okay, may start laying people off. So if you are in an organization that has good cash at hand, if you are in an organization that is, according to you, is doing well, don't try to change jobs during this time. especially if you know that you're in a good organization that has a good cash flow, that has a good forecast of the business, right? Don't try to shift jobs during this time. But if you think you are in an organization, man, we are exposed to a bunch of risks. Okay, how do you identify an organization that is risky during these times? If your organization is not making money, if your organization is still running in loss, if the organization that you're working for does not have good cash at hand, right? These are, what I'm talking about is fundamentals. If your fundamentals of your company is really weak, it could be susceptible during an economic collapse. How do you know your company is weak? If they have too high debt to equity ratio, if they hardly have any cash at hand, okay, and they are not making enough income, all these are attributes or things that are red flags, especially during this time of recession. Okay, so you want to make sure you are positioned in an organization or in a company that can resist or that can plow through a recession, especially if you're part of an organization that has been through several failures in the past. That is a good sign. If you are part of an organization which is a mere startup, which is not at all making income, they are still in the wishful thinking mode, and does not have great confidence in the future. During a time of recession, such companies, they will be in a very risky situation. I'm not saying that will not work. All that I'm saying is you want to be prayerful about your organization. You want to ask God, Lord, is this the right place for me to be? Should I be, finding something else? So ensure that you are planted in the right place during these times, okay? And especially for your business. If you're a business owner, your focus is, try to think about who could be your at-risk clients. Which of my clients could be most susceptible for defaults, or who may I lose? So, you should be starting thinking about making the right customers or clients into your business. Understand the exposure, because if your client or if your organization is too exposed to the cost of money situations right now, it could impact your business significantly. So be very thoughtful about the type of cash flow that is coming into your organization. Don't make rash decisions during these times. Okay, guys, I may sound as if I'm giving you financial advice. I'm not giving you financial advice. That's the way I talk. This is just education, all right? This is just education, but please put your own thoughts. Please do your own analysis. I'm not giving you expert advice here, but this is, I am giving you the wisdom that I operate in. Praise be to God, for He has blessed me with wisdom. But I'm just sharing my wisdom with you. So when I say don't do this, do this, I'm not giving you advice, all right? Take it with a grain of salt. Go do your own analysis. All that I'm trying to do is, hey, be thoughtful about where your organization is. Be thoughtful about which company you're placed in. Ensure your company is strong. So this is all about ensuring that you are in a safe place. And number two, with your businesses, just make sure that you are onboarding a right client, or, selling to the right people. Don't invest in a client who may not stick with you. Because, even within your business, if you're a business owner, your top clients, your mid clients, your bottom box clients, right? Don't try to onboard bottom box clients this time, because they will be more susceptible for a loss. So, I hope that you've segmented your clients properly. but generally speaking, be thoughtful and don't borrow big time during this time, because the cost of money is really high. Are you all learning something? If you are learning something, put something on the chat. And if you have any questions on what I'm saying, I would like to hear some questions from you. Put your questions on the chat, okay? I would love to answer your questions because I just want to make sure that you are getting what I'm saying and I'm just not babbling a bunch. Because I'm pretty sure it is connecting with some people. I know it's connecting with some people. But if you have any questions, let me know. I can answer your questions, okay? So number one, I said, ensure that you're in the right place of work. Number two, ensure you're onboarding the right clients into your business. Don't venture into wishful dreams during this time because cost of money is high. Don't think everybody is going to buy the product that I'm going to sell, so I'm going to go take a big loan. Don't do that now, okay? Because whatever people are saying, they may default on. Only make moves on things which you have high confidence on, okay? You need to have high confidence on the businesses you're entering into this season because cost of money is high and the risk of default is high. So that is the condition of the market right now, and not most people are not most people are susceptible to this condition right now. Okay, and the third thing that Joseph talked about, first thing was money, second thing was cattle, which is related to your business or your income stream. Let me tell you another thing here with the income stream. If you are a Christian, if you are a child of God, I would encourage you to think about having multiple income streams. The reason why I qualified it by saying if you are is because most of the Christians, they are not as wise as the people of darkness. When I say people of darkness, it's people of the world. People of the world are more wise with the money than the people of the kingdom. And God says this, hey, you got to use your money to make friends in your heavenly dwelling. Unfortunately, Christians do not have money most of the time. And they're not able to make friends. The only friends they make is by borrowing money, not by giving money or making money. So if you are a Christian, I encourage you, think about multiple streams of income. See, there is a blessing of God upon your life. God has said, be fruitful and multiply, meaning be productive, produce. A production is a blessing of God upon you. Productivity is a blessing of God upon you. Okay? Always consider having multiple streams of income. Don't lock yourself only to one stream of income, because that one thing fails, you are exposed to failure. All right? So always have multiple streams. Ask God for wisdom of how you should operate in that, okay? Always think about multiple streams of income because you are diversifying where your income stream is coming from. Just in case money fails, you have cattle. Just in case cattle fails, you have land, right? You have different assets, but even within the cattle, you have multiple cattles. Okay, you have a cattle business, you have a wheat business, you have this. So try to be productive. It is the blessing of God because you have value that you can give. See, people pay for value. People just don't pray for, hey, this is a flashy product. No, people pray for value. Okay, so that is important. All right, so I'm going to talk to Quenisha first. Quenisha, I would like to know how to obtain silver and gold. Okay. So a couple of ways, I'll tell you. There are two ways. One is to directly buy gold, okay? And directly buy gold, there are companies like APMEX, precious metal companies. I will post the link on here. these are all, pretty well-known organizations, or JM Bullion, I believe. These are places where you can directly buy precious metals from. They either sell in coins, they sell in bars, they sell in kgs. If you remember, Quenisha, I think in the year of prosperity, 2021, we gave out silver coins to people. I got the silver from AppMex, okay? Remember, we also did our outreach, and we gave out silver coins for people. I got it from there. So that is a good place to get gold or silver from, okay? That is one option, definitely. Another option is people buy exchange traded funds, meaning there are some ETFs that track the value of silver, that track the value of gold, okay? So that is another option. Now, there are different schools of thought. Some really like to get the tangible asset. I'm like that, I'm like, I'll get silver or gold. Maybe some of my money I'll put in the exchange traded fund. But, I will not put all my money in the exchange traded fund. Okay. That is an option for you to get silver or gold. All right. Jay Fergus, some people say copper might be good to invest in because copper shortage is coming. Do you think? Yeah. Any precious metal, especially, right, copper and silver. For example, silver is called poor man's gold, okay? But copper comes further down. Silver and copper has utilization goodness as well. For example, copper is used in utensils, copper is used for electricity, electric wires, and, all of that. There is a utility on top of the value of the metal itself, okay? If you think about electronic goods, copper is a very important part of electronics that we use, right? So it is true, if you think about chip shortages, right? It is all connected to copper in some ways, right? So copper shortage, yeah, that I would say yes, that'll be a good option too. That's another precious metal. And not necessarily a precious metal, it's a metal that has strong utility value, right? Silver, similarly. You see, gold does not have as much utilization as silver or copper. Because silver, most of the ammunition for war equipments, bullets and this and that, they use silver. So silver is a very important part of building and utility. It has a utility value on top of the precious metal status. However, gold does not, because gold is used just as a store of value or for jewelry. Those are the only reasons. But copper and silver has utilization values. Okay, let me also look at the price of copper in the last few months. Give me a quick moment here. And I also see your question, Ms. Sarika. I'm coming to your question soon here. Price of copper. Let's look at that. Okay. All right, look at this. The last 6 months, copper has gone up 20%. So copper is up 20%. Gold is up 20%. Silver is up 26%. A lot of people right now, there is more bets on silver, at least what I'm hearing, than gold or copper, is my understanding. But maybe the next time when I come back, I will just do a session on precious metals. I will do a deeper analysis and I'll share that with you all. I'm pretty sure that'll be useful for all of you. But generally speaking, in the last 6 months, gold is up 20%, copper is up 20%, silver is up 26%. So now, Ms. Sarika is having a question. My son Ashish Navan is planning to do MS in Northeast University, Boston. He's waiting for I-20. We need to take a loan for nearly 80 lakhs for his education. This is how I would advise people who approach master's education. For example, I came into the United States to do my master's program. And I came during a time of major recession. I stepped into United States in the year 2008. Do you all remember 2008? 2008 fiasco in the market, a subprime mortgage crisis. It was the greatest time to learn finance. That is when I entered United States, okay? Now you're asking the question, we need to take a loan for nearly 80 lakhs. So a few thoughts I'll give you. Think about education, okay? Think about education as a business plan, okay? What I mean by that is, end of the day, I'm pretty sure Ashish is not, I don't know, I don't want to judge, the intentions here, but most of the people who are looking to do masters or whatever, in their mind, they are looking for a job, okay? So basically, you are investing 80 lakhs. So, for people here, let me do USD to rupee conversion. Indian rupee, when we talk about 80 lakhs is okay, 80 lakhs is 100 grand. Okay, 80 lakhs is 100 grand. Okay, I'm just giving you a comparison. So think about that $100,000. 80 lakhs is $100,000. Think about $100,000 as investment amount you are trying to put into a business called as education to make returns out of it. Okay? Now, if your son is very strong and really confident in the line of work that he is getting into, I do not know that specific educational degree he's going towards. But if he is very confident and all of that, and if you do not have major financial concerns or constraints of servicing loans, it could be a good investment opportunity, okay? But if you are strapped for finances already, if you're thinking, I don't even know how I am going to service this loan, if you are in a vulnerable situation, and if your son does not have any scholarships and things like that, because, once he comes to the United States, he needs a place to stay, this and that. There are a bunch of plus 80 lakhs, he needs accommodation, he needs food, he needs travel, all of that put together, right? Think about that as, information systems. Okay, that is, it could have good scope. Okay. Now, so think about it as a business plan. The way you want to make a decision is, okay, I'm going to invest $100,000 here, and it can also help your son's future because, right, this is not a business plan for 5 years. This is also for the future of your son, correct? This has more value for the future. But end of the day, you should be thinking about, do I have enough money to service these loans during this time? If it hits recession, what could be situations? So just be thoughtful and ask God for wisdom, right? You need to pray about this because this is a pretty huge undertaking given where we are getting into. But if you have good access to servicing this loan that you're taking, and if you think your son can manage, or if you have relatives in Boston and things like that, I don't see why not. And ensure that he is coming in prepared for what is going to happen. Because preparation is more important than anything. All right. This is not about whimsically making a decision. You are getting prepared when you get into a land. Okay. So now, Batman X has a question. Should we store food to prepare for famine? I would say no, not for this. Because what is really happening in the market right now is the government is trying to fight inflation. The cost of goods have gone up significantly. Okay? And they are trying to bring the cost of goods down. And hence they've increased interest rates. So most likely what is going to happen now soon is the cost of everything is going to come down. Eggs are going to come down, milk is going to come down, wheat is going to come down, rice is going to come down. Everything, the cost of everything is going to come down because the cost of money has already gone up to fight inflation to go down. Okay? So this is not a famine in the sense of food shortage. Think about 2008 crisis, right? It is a credit market crisis. We are entering a credit market crisis. This is not a famine for shortage of food. Whoa, that is a very Jay is asking a very, very, very important question. See, there is another. Okay, I'll come to Jay's question, but see, I hope you're getting the answers from me there. I don't think this is a food shortage issue. This is a credit risk issue that's happening in the market. So I would say not necessarily, but nothing hurts if you have some storage, let's say for 2 weeks, whatever, to sustain. Don't go crazy. This is not COVID. This is not a COVID crisis. This is not a food manufacturing or farm crisis, not yet, because we are not seeing things like that. But if God tells me differently, I'll tell you that too. But as of right now, based on what I'm seeing, this is a credit market crisis. So I wouldn't go crazy on food storage for this. Now coming to Jay's question, see guys, another thing that is happening is, this is not, what I'm going to say right now is not clearly, directly stated. But there is a major plan going to go into digital dollar. Okay? Digital dollar is a major thing right now. So when Jay is talking about what should we do if the dollar is toppled by the BRICS system, Jay, more than the BRICS system, I am more thinking, and by the way, when you say BRICS system, he's talking about Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, okay? Those are the combined economies of those nations. So his question is, what if U.S. economy gets toppled by the BRICS system, or the dollar gets toppled by the BRICS system? Now, Jay, I am more thinking about the digital dollar than the BRICS system at this point in time, because a lot of governments are trying to go into a digital dollar. I mean, not a digital dollar, a digital currency for their economy. For example, it has been implemented already in Emirates. When I say Emirates, UAE, they have already moved. They've started their first phase implementation of digital dirhams. I believe Nigeria has already gone into a digital currency from the government. Now, the next move is a lot of people are speculating. A lot of top people are speculating that this is not the Fed is creating a crisis to introduce a digital currency. Again, this is still speculation, but these are top people who are saying that, hey, this, if that is what Fed is doing, this is a very malicious way of doing it. You're toppling your own economy, which is not new for governments and central banks. You are toppling your own economy willfully to introduce a system of digital currency. So, because digital currency has, let me tell you what that system is. See, President Biden's administration announces a framework for digital dollar. That is a pretty recent news. CBDC is called the Central Bank Digital Currency. So there is already a plan for the Fed to release a digital dollar. And I will talk about the digital dollar the next time. So in my next review, I'm going to go deeper into the precious metals analysis, which could be a better alternative. I'll talk a little bit about digital dollar because that is something that is coming up the pike big time. That is a very definite possibility of where we all are going with this crisis. Okay, so I'm going to bring this thing to a close. Quenisha says, when I went to Florida and seen the airport literally flooded with Bitcoin ads and then all new Bitcoin machines, even in the laundromat, I figured this. Yeah, that is another alternative that people are choosing, right? Digital currencies and, Bitcoins. Actually, digital dollar is, they are trying to take the crypto market's dominance out. You already saw a major crash in 22 in the crypto market, right? Now they're trying to crash the economy. Could be. I'm not saying they are, okay? They could be trying to crash the economy to introduce a digital dollar. Now, given the crypto space, right, I wouldn't bet, could the crypto space be big during this crisis? I'm pretty sure, it could take off. But there could be other consolidations happening too. So even if you're playing in the crypto space, I wouldn't go to altcoins or anything like that. Maybe Bitcoins will hold up. But I am a little wary of the crypto market during this crisis. And I'll talk a little bit more about that and why. Because in comparison to silver, real estate, or businesses, if I put them in a risk to reward matrix, crypto will definitely fall on the riskier side than the other safer places. Okay. All right then. All right then. So I'm going to close it today, but this is what I'm going to close it with. Watch. Cash is just a artificial. Currencies are just artificial. Okay. I don't care if it's a USD, Indian rupee, Naira, whatever. These are all currencies. Okay. Now, the ones that really carry intrinsic value are money. Okay. Whenever you have too much cash in your account, it is always good to hold some precious metal. I'm not saying go crazy on precious metal. I'm not saying change all your cash into precious metal. That is not what I'm saying. Okay. But it's always good to hold some precious metal all the time. Okay. So now I talked about money. And then I said, be very cautious and keen on the places of work. Because right after money impacts, your cash flow is impacted. It could be businesses, it could be employment, it could be different things. So be very thoughtful of the decisions you're making there. Okay? Finally is real estate. So I'll talk more about precious metals, real estate, and general economy in my next video. But thank you for joining today. I hope this was helpful. If you have not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. So we'll see you again next week. I will post when I'm going to come live. All right. But more than anything, next week, I'm also going to be doing every day, 7 p.m. There is going to be a study on the Passion Week. So it is not going to be on this channel. It's going to be on Life is Christ Ministries channel. Every day, 7 p.m., we are going to be meditating on the Passion of Christ. Okay? So I encourage you to join Life is Christ Ministries page for everyday sessions. Okay? So God bless you. Have a good evening. Have a safe time. All right? Bye-bye.